Israel also continues to say that Netanyahu had a briefing today as did his defense minister, and they said they're going to continue the mission, and they continue to describe the mission not as regime change, but as eliminating the threat of Iran militarily, both nuclear and missile. And they say they're going to continue. We don't know what the contours of that are. On the U.S. side, what would be acceptable for a deal? We know in more detail in some of these TikTok stories that came out that Witkoff has been in regular touch with the Iranians, including right before the attacks or as the attacks were occurring, making it clear that the U.S. is only going for Iran's nuclear capability and making it clear that the U.S. is ready to talk if Iran is willing to talk. Iran's position on Friday was they won't talk while the Israeli mission continues, and Israel's not going to back off there. And then again, question 1B to the 1A, front of mind for so many. 1A is Iran going to hit U.S. assets? And then 1B is, what's President Trump's response if that happens? Russia, China, still not a lot. Saudi, still not a lot of clarity about where they are. What the markets will do tomorrow is obviously a big question that everybody will be watching. And then finally, we'll talk about this with Dan and others, which is the Democratic Party all over the map today from full support for President Trump to calls for his impeachment to a lot of nuanced positions in between. So let's play a few things and then bring our guests in. First, let's listen to J.D. Vance, number 12, saying the U.S. is not at war with Iran. This is J.D. Vance on Meet the Press, number 12, please.
Prepared for is if they attack us in a maximal direction, first of all, we have got maximum defensive posture. I think that we're going to be able to defend as many of our people as possible. And of course, I'd encourage Americans to pray for our guys in the Middle East because, yes, they are under a significant amount of duress and a significant amount of threat right now. But then, of course, John, if the Iranians attack us, they're going to be met with overwhelming force. And I don't think the president could be clear about this. If you look at what we did yesterday, John, we did not attack the nation of Iran. We did not attack any civilian targets. We didn't even attack military targets outside of the 3 nuclear weapons facilities that we thought were important to accomplish our goal of preventing Iran from having a nuclear weapon. So how Iran responds, I think, is ultimately the ball is in their court. But if you look at what we did, it was very precise, very narrowly tailored to our objective. And if the Iranians decide to expand this, then that's ultimately their decision, and the President of the United States will respond in kind.
Okay, so that's not him on Meet the Press. That's him with John Carl on ABC. Do we have him on number 12 with Kristen Welker? It's roughly the same, but I'd like 12 if we have it.
The United States now at war with Iran.
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the American Air Force pilots who did an incredible job last night. The operation was really extraordinary. These guys flew from Missouri. They didn't land a single time. They dropped 30,000-pound bombs on a target the size of a washing machine and then got back home safely without ever landing in the Middle East or ever stopping other than to briefly refuel. And of course, they did that in the air. So it's really an incredible operation, a testament to the power of American military. And I think what shows what can happen when you have that great American military in the hands of capable presidential leadership. What we did is we destroyed the Iranian nuclear program. I think we set that program back substantially, and we did it without endangering the lives of the American pilots. That's an incredible thing, and I think we all should be proud. Whatever our politics, we should be proud of what these guys accomplished. A very, very high-impact mission under a lot of pressure.
All right, let's listen to Marco Rubio, a couple sound bites from him. First, number 11, please.
We'll see what Iran decides to do. I think they should choose the route of peace. We've done everything. We have bent over backwards, okay, to create a deal with these people. Steve Witkoff has traveled the world extensively, met with them, well, not even met with them, met through the Omanis with them and discussed back and forth. We even put an offer to them that they wanted elements of it in writing, and we offered it to them. Very generous offer, by the way. We've done it, and we're prepared right now. If they call right now and say, we want to meet, let's talk about this, we're prepared to do that. The president's made that clear from the very beginning. His preference is to deal with this issue diplomatically. But he also told them we had 60 days to make progress or something else else was going to happen. And I think they thought they were dealing with a different kind of leader, like the kinds of leaders they've been playing games with for the last 30 or 40 years, and they found out that's not the case. So this mission was a very precise mission. It had 3 objectives, 3 nuclear sites. It was not an attack on Iran. It was not an attack on the Iranian people. This wasn't a regime change move. This was designed to degrade and or destroy 3 nuclear sites related to their nuclear weaponization ambitions, and that was delivered on yesterday. What happens next will now depend on what Iran chooses to do next. If they choose the path of diplomacy, we're ready. We can do a deal that's good for them, the Iranian people, and good for the world. If they choose another route, then there'll be consequences for that.